Hello once again, Niner Faithful, and welcome back to another episode of 49ers Playbook on the channel that's trying to answer the whys and hows of the game. This past Thursday, the 49ers had their second and most likely, most consequential preseason game, as it was the biggest opportunity for young players looking to get strong playing time this season to make a case for that to happen. The 49ers were largely criticized for their draft process this year, but 4 players had strong games this past week and look to be in position to make a big impact this year on a team vying for a championship. Let's jump to the film and see the case these players are making on the field. You're watching Johnny Dell's Football Academy. The first guy we'll dive into is none other than the most maligned draft pick, Kaelon Black. In case you missed it, I'll have my breakdown video on Kaelon Black coming out of college in the description below. But what he showed at Indiana was incredibly quick feet and comfort in running a wide zone scheme, and most importantly, incredible pass protection. We saw all these things on display in his first NFL action. Here we're running our wide zone, and one way our wide zone differs from some other ways it's run around the NFL is a lot of teams want their players on a timing. They want running backs to read what their cut will be by a certain step and cut on a certain step. For the 49ers, they want their running backs to attack where the outside foot of the tight end would be and stay exactly on that track until something takes them out of the hole. Pressing the aiming point is crucial. Here you see Kaelon Black doing a great job of pressing the point as long as he can, and once the defender shows in the hole, then he does a great job reading his blocks, getting skinny through the hole, and getting some tough yards. Here on another wide zone, you'll see him again, press the hole, make a good cut, and then run through the hole with physicality. Here we're running an inside zone, and you see him hit the hole with conviction and gets good yards. Like I said, he showed really fluid and quick feet at Indiana and the Senior Bowl. On this play, we're running an inside zone, and he's supposed to hit this from the A gap and work out. He does a nice job reading it out, making the cut, and getting vertical. Also, this is real nice work by Dejon Stribbling on what's called an insert block on the safety. Next, and some of this will be a mix of Kaelon Black and Stribling, but Black showed extremely good pass protection at Indiana, and so far, it is translated. Here, he has an excellent pickup on DeJohn Henley. On this play, the Chargers are coming with a sim pressure or simulated pressure, where they'll bring a second level defender on a blitz and drop an edge rusher into coverage. It looks like a blitz to the quarterback and offensive line, but still drops 7 into coverage. Really nice pickup by Black here. Also, I talked about this on my Dejon Stribbling video after the first preseason game, that the 49ers run this, what they call a Tony concept, which is an outside release fade paired with a Tony route. And I talked about how Juwan Jennings made a killing on this concept on third downs, and I expected Stribling to fill that role. Here, that's exactly what happened. On this play, the Chargers are coming with a pressure package they've run for a while. Their aim is to overload the offense with outside pressure while dropping their defensive tackles into a middle help zone. This allows their man defenders to play outside in while forcing the quarterback to react and throw it hot. Kaelon Black is in jet protection here, so he has to pick up the widest man on the line. The offensive line is going to communicate this across the board to determine how they'll handle any possible overloads or pressures, and Kaelon Black has to be on the same page. You see how well this works as both Pleasance and Willis recognize the blitz and pick up the pressure. Black comes over to the only unblocked defender on the opposite side as he was the widest potential rusher. This is really nice work and a reason he will almost certainly be the primary backup to Christian McCaffrey this season. Next, we'll look at Dejon Stribbling. But first, I want to take a quick second and thank all the members of JFA49.com for your support. It's been the direct support of fans just like you that supports the channel. The goal this season is to add 75 new members. If you like the channel and the content, please consider becoming a member today. We have 3 tiers of support, but any support is greatly appreciated. Also, you can check out the Johnny Dell's Football Academy merch store. There we have hats, stickers, tumblers, and shirts of all kinds of colors. You can represent your Niner fandom with shirts commemorating some of the biggest plays in 49ers history. From the catch to Super Bowl 23 to the catch 2, it's all there. And you can show people how the sauce was made. Check it out today. Both links are in the description below. Now, back to the film. Stribling has had a real nice preseason so far, and I love the route he runs here on a stop route. Nice work to create leverage, push the corner vertical, then snap the route off and make a good, strong hands catch. My one critique is he needs to be more physical with the corner. The corner is going to and does get physical with him down the stem. Don't be afraid to use your hands to be physical back and create more separation and throw off the timing of the corner's break to give yourself even more space. If the corner initiates the contact, it's very unlikely that the refs are going to throw a flag on the receiver for getting physical as well. Here on 3rd and 5 versus bump man coverage, this is really nice execution of what's called a diamond release. That is a release that stems outside to look like a fade, then breaks in on the slant. It's real nice work and you see the explosive speed to create separation and get the first down. Then we get his biggest gain of the day. This is real nice work on what's called a widened Skinner route. It's a post route that he has to widen, then quote, give a little something, end quote, at the top of the route and then run a post. He works this with textbook execution. I will say I don't think Mac Jones saw the under safety. LA will often run their cover 1 robber, which is a little different than some others. The way they do it is to package teaching techniques. I'll try not to get too far in the weeds or overload this with jargon, but most cover 1 robber has the underneath safety playing between the hashes as a middle help defender. The way the Chargers run a lot of their cover 4 and cover 3 buzz is they'll have a weak side safety playing with a poach technique where they drop into a hook zone between the hash and the numbers and look to pick up intermediate crossers from the opposite side. So to package techniques for their safeties, when they run cover 1 robber, this is the kind of technique they ask them to play with. So the safety can play different coverages without having to use different techniques. I don't think Mac saw him, but Stribling did and got skinny at the catch point and was able to get more yards after the catch. The only real knock I had on Stribling this week was not finishing his great double move on what they call a train route. He set this up earlier with the stop route, and now you have the curl and go, and it was a $1 million move with a 10-cent finish. Lastly, we'll talk about Jaden Duggar, the rookie linebacker out of Louisiana who looks to have secured the 3rd linebacker spot. Here, this is great work to recognize the wide zone, trigger against the run, and keep the edge even through contact. One of the knocks on him coming out of college was that he didn't play through contact well. Here, he does a great job. It wasn't all perfect though. He has shown at times to bite too hard on a run fake, like here. He bites really hard and completely loses his coverage responsibility. But it's a roller coaster. Here, he doesn't bite too hard on the run fake, and you see him drop right into a spot and take away where Trey Lance wants to go with the ball. However, they do need to communicate and work through this as to who will peel off and pick up the outlet, as we have 3 defenders covering 1 guy. Last week on the live shows, I talked about how I felt Jaden Duggar does give the 49ers an interesting chess piece against multiple tight end sets. His height and length give him a big frame to work against tall tight ends, and his speed allows him to be able to cover them well. Here, the Chargers are trying to run a fake screen and go. They're going to make this look like a bubble screen outside, have the tight end fake a block, then run a rail route. That's where it's really hard for Duggar. He has to play this to defeat a block from the tight end, which puts him at a disadvantage, but you see that with his speed and frame, he's able to get back into position and create a very small throwing window for a quarterback. And here, this is a play that won't show up on the stat sheet, but he does a real nice job on this wide zone of triggering against a run and getting to the spot with speed and forcing the running back inside to his help. And lastly, this is what I mean with the roller coaster. Him and Robinson need to get on the same page here. They're playing a man-match zone, and so they have to be on a different plane to protect themselves from any possible switch release routes, where receivers will switch spots at the snap to cause cross traffic. Here, they aren't on the same page and run into each other, and both their receivers break open. You can see them frustrated with each other after the play over this. Overall, this is a rookie class with a lot of potential. I'll get into Carver Willis later on this week with Rob Stats-Guerrera on the Gold Standard podcast, but the team could potentially field 5 players who see significant playing time this season from the 2026 draft class. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and be sure to hit the notifications button to be alerted to when a video goes live, and if you can, share this with a fellow 49ers fan. The share feature does more to promote this content to other 49ers fans than anything else out there. But until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, go Niners.